You are about to enter the exciting world of the reel-to-reel tape recorder and player. This unit was made in the 1970s by a corporation in Japan called Akai, or however you want to pronounce that, A-K-A-I. This particular unit is unusual because it is a 4-channel stereo tape deck. And you say, well, aren't all stereo tapes 4-channel? Yes, they are. But for the most part, 2 of those channels play in one direction, and then the tape flips over and plays the other 2 in the other direction. Well, this machine has the capability of playing surround tapes or quadraphonic tapes. Back in the old days, before we had these things, this little iPod shuffle here, which you can hold between your 2 fingers. Before those days, we needed a gigantic machine that could play music of that caliber. In fact, some would say that this unit has even better sound quality than an iPod. Yes, that is the opinion of some. Let's take a closer look at this unit. Over here on the left, you'll see that it has 2 headphone jacks. One for the front channels, one for the rear channels. Then, over here you have a tape speed selector. You can record at 7.5 or 3 3/4 inches per second. You have a front level record control for both the left and right channels, and you have a front mic input for, again, left and right channels. You have a monitor control. This allows you to play your music either from the tape or from the source that you're recording from. In the center here we have volume unit meters that move with the music and indicate the strength of the volume that you are listening to. Down here you'll see the model number. This is a 1730D-SS, and I'm assuming the SS stands for surround stereo. Over here we have a record level for the rear channels, left and right. We also have a stereo selector. So you can play 4 channels or you can play 2 channels simultaneously. Also known as quadraphonic. Here are your rear mic inputs for left and right. So theoretically, instead of just connecting 2 microphones, you could connect 4 microphones to this unit and record your band playing live, and then play them back through 4 discrete channels. Here you have a play and record button. You also have a rewind and a fast forward button, a power button, pause button, and an automatic switch. The automatic switch tells the machine when it should turn off. If it is turned on, at the end of the tape, the motor and the power to the unit will cease. If it is turned off, then the unit will continue to operate or run when the tape has reached the end. Let us demonstrate this unit by hitting the play button. And you do that by turning this selector switch 1 position to the right. And yes, as you can hear and see, the tape is winding through the machine. It enters on this side, and then it runs across the record head and playback heads here underneath this rim, comes out, is pinched by the pinch roller and the capstan, and is then taken up onto the take-up spindle, or the take-up reel. So you have a supply spindle, and you have a take-up spindle. The interesting thing about this unit is it has locks that lock the reels in place. You can see them on both of the units here. To turn off the unit, you slide the selector switch 1 position to the left. Then you can rewind or fast forward your tape. Here's what rewind looks like. And it makes a violent noise because it is in pain. And then over here you have a fast forward button. I actually know where that sound is coming from. It's coming from this little tape, what's called the tape counter up here on the top. Alright, well, now that you've seen the unit operating and you've seen its controls, let me show you one quick thing to prove that it's in fact 4 channels. Now again, this particular tape was recorded in stereo for 2-channel playback. But as you can see, there are 4 channels on this unit. So what is on the other side of the tape? So if we put the machine into the play position and we put it in 4-channel, you'll see that the meters are moving for the front and for the rear. So all I have to do is move my audio input selector to the rear outputs, and you'll notice that creepy music comes in from the back 2 channels because that's recorded on side 2 of this particular tape. So in order to play tapes that are 4-channel or quadraphonic, you have to have specially made quadraphonic tapes, or you can just make your own. Unfortunately, you'll only get 1 pass on the tape. You won't be able to turn the tape over because it will use the entire width of the tape for your recording. Let's turn the machine around just briefly and I'll show you the inputs and outputs on the back of the unit. Now I've already worked on this unit. I've already oiled all of the rollers on the inside, lubricated it. I have also spent some time cleaning the front of the unit. It was pretty dirty. Here's your power transformer and your power conversion unit here, most likely a little cleanup of the voltage or a transfer of the voltage as it comes in the unit. Turn it around here. The back of the unit, you have your gigantic motor. Now the better reel-to-reel tape decks have more than 1 motor. For example, my TAC machine has 3 motors. 1 for the capstan, 1 for the take-up, and 1 for the supply reels. That is a more efficient system. If you only have 1 motor, it requires a bunch of pulleys and belts and all kinds of noisy things in order to make your machine operate. You can see your selector switch here in the back from the back side, and there is the flywheel for your capstan there, the gray wheel. This unit is nice and neat on the inside. The wires aren't just straying all over the place. That is actually a good sign. Here is your jack pack on the back, and you have what is known as a DIN connector for audio, and you have your rear line output and your rear line input as well as your front. So you have inputs for the rear and outputs for the rear as well as inputs and outputs for the front. I hope I said that right. Interesting that it says surround stereo used with permission of Vanguard Records. I was not aware that Vanguard had the exclusivity to that particular phrase, but perhaps at the time this was made, that was the case. On the bottom here, you'll see the discrete 4 circuit boards that make up the outputs and recording for this particular unit. So for each channel, front, left, rear, left, right, etc., you have a discrete circuit board for that particular use. And again, those are in a nice, neat, orderly place on the inside of this unit. And over here is a circuit board that I would assume has something to do, probably bias settings. I'm just assuming that, but it's possible it could be a preamplifier setting or something along those lines. All right. Well, you have pretty much seen the magnificence of this Quadraphonic reel-to-reel tape deck. Again, probably made in the 1970s. Turn it back around because it weighs about 475 pounds. Okay, I'm exaggerating slightly. Probably weighs somewhere in the range of 35 or 40 pounds. So again, we've come a long way from the days that we can put this little guy in our pockets and take our music with us wherever we go. I can't imagine taking this entire machine with me to go jogging or working out at the gym. But I could imagine the beautiful music that was once recorded for us years ago playing through my sound system. And this could be connected to a Dolby Digital receiver for playback of those 4 channels using the discrete inputs, if in fact your receiver has them. I thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will share it with a friend, or perhaps just make a comment below and subscribe to my channel. I would be very much appreciative of that. And once again, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.